There was a time when being a trucker meant something. It meant freedom. It meant a good living, a pathway to the American dream. A man could put in his miles, pay off his rig, and feed a family off honest work. But now it's different. The roads are the same, but the game done changed. So today we ask a question a lot of drivers been thinking, but few want to say out loud. Was the American dream a lie for truckers? Let's talk about it.
Bye, honey. See you day after tomorrow.
Goodbye, Tom.
So long, kids. Mind your mother now. Bye-bye, Slugger. Take good care of that truck now.
Bye, Tom.
Bye. Bye.
Another overnight trip begins for Tom Dwyer, a truck driver.
Hi, Mike. Oh, hi, Tom. What have you got for me today? You've got a hot load to Sandusky, Ohio. Tom, you're going to get your regular tractor, 3880 and 1136. Okay, I'll leave as soon as I'm loaded. So long, Mike. Have a nice trip, Tom.
This big trucking terminal in Chicago is one of many where thousands of tons of freight are shipped all over the country. Big cans of paint, tables in their shipping cartons, heavy tractor tires, new automobile wheels. These and other shipments are sorted and packed into trucks bound for many different cities. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lansing, Michigan, Toledo, Ohio. And here's Tom Dwyer's truck for Sandusky, Ohio, loaded and ready to go.
Let's rewind. Back in the post-World War II era, America was booming. Manufacturing was up, infrastructure was expanding, and there was freight to move coast to coast. Truckers were the heartbeat of the country. A man could drop out of high school, get a CDL, and carve out a blue-collar life with a house, a car, a wife, and a pension. Teamsters had power, wages were strong, and most importantly, respect. Truckers weren't just drivers, they were providers, protectors of the highway, kings of the road.
Is a provision which will require one union member to break another union member's strike. I'm talking about the question of reporting, where it is left to guess and left to the devices of individuals to determine what regulation will determine the question of filing income and expenditures. This we object to. We want a clear, concise bill so the Secretary of Treasury who drive trucks during the day or work in warehouses or factories, who do their bookkeeping at home at night, will be able to answer to the United States government a income and expenditure sheet which will not incriminate them out of their inability to understand the necessary legalistic language in this bill.
Now, I'm not here to get into Hoffa conspiracies, but say what you want. He made sure truckers were paid. Back then, it wasn't uncommon for a trucker to make more than a college graduate. But then came 1980, the Motor Carrier Act, deregulation. Rates went down, competition shot up, and wages began to fall. The race to the bottom began. More small carriers flooded the market. Brokers started pinching off the top, and owner-operators, they took on more risks for less reward. No benefits, no guaranteed loads, just hope, hustle, and a dream that was slipping away. Now ask yourself, if you're putting in more hours, running more miles, but making less money than the truckers before you, what kind of dream is that? Fast forward to today. Fuel prices spike overnight. Insurance is through the roof. Freight rates, let's not even talk about it. Amazon Relay paying pennies on the mile. Load boards flooded with lowball offers. You got influencers on TikTok and YouTube selling the dream, telling folks to get a truck, lease on, and get rich quick, and people fall for it. They buy a $60,000 truck with no plan, no numbers, no cost per mile understanding. 6 months later, repos, broken homes, and debt collectors. Because what they sold wasn't the American dream. It was a scam with a steering wheel. Let's keep it real for a minute. This isn't just about money. It's about the weight this lifestyle puts on your soul. Missing birthdays, sleeping in rest stops, arguing with dispatch, praying that check clears before the insurance payment hits, And all the while, America depends on you, but don't respect you. You're moving the goods that keep this country alive, but the second you park that truck, you're invisible. But now something's changing. More drivers are starting to wake up. They're asking questions. They're learning cost per mile. They're not just buying trucks, they're learning the business. And others, they're walking away entirely, realizing the freedom they were promised came with a ball and chain of fuel cards, repairs, and mental burnout. But here's the truth. The dream is only real if you take time to understand the game, to run the numbers and say no to gurus and yes to reality, to slow down and learn, because the new dream ain't driving a truck, it's owning your business. And there's a difference. Truckers built this country, and truckers are still out here grinding every day. But if we don't speak the truth, if we keep letting folks get lured in with false promises, then we're just setting up the next generation for failure. So if you're out there chasing this dream, make sure it's your dream, not theirs. I'm just here to help you see the difference. Much love, much respect. Stay safe out there. I'll catch you on the next one.
There's an awful lot of the guys that they think that, all they got to do is go out and buy a truck and they're going to make it. And that's not true. I mean, you got to be about a half businessman today to make it in this trucking business. And they only last a few months and they go under.
All my friends and everybody else that taught me how to drive told me not to do it. But it's like everything else, everybody tells you not to get married, but everybody still does it.
You're your own boss. You can, when you decide to have a cup of coffee, you can decide to have a cup of coffee. And you don't have to wait for the whistle to blow. So I guess that's the reason a lot of guys just like to be a owner-operator. It just gets into your blood and it's there to stay.
It's hard because you almost constantly have to keep that rig rolling. When you buy one of these rigs, you've got a pretty good sized payment on that thing for 4 or 5 years. And you can't let it sit, because if you let it sit for a week or two, then you get behind on those payments.
Owner-operators are always making payments. A new rig can cost $80,000 with 25% down and $1,500 a month. An owner-operator with a good load might make $3,300 on a cross-country trip. But you'll spend $1,000 for fuel, $300 for living expenses, another $300 for fees, licenses, and insurance, $400 for lumpers to load and unload your truck. And then you can always blow a tire at $350 a shot, or run into bad weather and have to sit on it for a few days. You can't find your own loads either. You'll spend all week in a truck stop, on the phone with brokers waiting for a load to go, and every hour you're not moving, you're losing money. That's why most owner-operators trade some of their independence for a lease to a big freight carrier. You get a steady load, and the company gets 25%.